Welcome in, everybody. It's the economic special. Going to be a lot of numbers, so you can quit now or you can get up to speed. So today we're going to start locally in Detroit at the morgue, where there they lie, as pretty as you please, stacked in the refrigerators, row upon row like so much bread on a baker's shelf. The dry bones are stored separately in a nearby pantry. But there are few takers for the wares on display at the Wayne County morgue in Midtown Detroit. They are the remains of 269 human beings who go unclaimed, unwanted, and oftentimes unknown. They are in their destitution a macabre barometer, not only the economic times we live in, but also a sad reminder of how cold and estranged the human heart has grown. 96 of them are skeletons, and quite a few of them have been there for years, explained Bill Casper, the chief investigator at the medical examiner's office, to me. These are the unfortunates whose remains remain unknown, people who were found in various states of misadventure and decomposition. But you never know with today's DNA technology, said Casper. He's a big-hearted death detective. He'd rather have a body on the shelf to give to a family rather than return a pile of dust in an urn. So that leaves another 173 full flesh and bone bodies on ice, the overflow handled by a tractor-trailer-sized refrigerator in the back parking lot of the morgue. Wayne County had the very same problem of overcrowding back during the Great Recession when Wall Street collapsed and the city of Detroit went broke. To ease that pressure, the state started allowing its county coroners to cremate unclaimed bodies, thus providing a more dignified ending to a life than having one's corpse perpetually rearranged like a withered cucumber in a vegetable crisper. Gradually, things improved at the morgue until the economy went sour again, and once again, bodies are stacking up, another unmeasured consequence of Bidenomics. It's a problem that plagues nearly every American metropolis today, from Chicago to LA. The backlog of bodies could be dispatched more quickly, of course, if there were only more money. But that's not the priority of local politicians, who instead give millions of public dollars to the billionaire pizza baron, who in turn builds $1 million mausoleum for his parents. The less fortunate of us get the back of the fridge. The morgue is the destination for those who died from the unnatural, the unintentional, or while incarcerated. To put it another way, the majority of those who get an autopsy are the decomposed, the drug-addled, or the down and out. And, of course, the homicide victim. And business is brisk at the Wayne County Medical Examiner's office. As fast as they can clear them out, in they come. The medical examiner's office fields 18,000 calls a year and accepts 3,500 customers, officially known as decedents. That's roughly 10 a day, every day, multiplied by 365. From the professional experience of Casper, the death detective, the relationship between the unclaimed body and his one-time kinfolk generally splits into two categories. The first might be described as a broken heart. These are the sort of people who had disavowed their relation in life, having been so wounded or wronged by him that they refused to collect him in death. Sort of like, fuck him. I don't want anything to do with him. Think about that, people. It really makes you wonder. The second type of relationship maybe it's best be described as flat out broke. These are the people who, month after month, implored the morgue to keep their loved one for just a little bit longer as they wait for their ship to come in. Like everything else, the price of cremation and funerals has gone up, and people will drag out this layaway plan for months and sometimes years. Eventually, when shelves get to capacity, Casper must call a funeral director who will take the body to a crematorium and then transport the cremains to a mausoleum at Our Lady of Hope Cemetery in Brownstown. The state of Michigan picks up the $700 tab. It's a real financial sign of the times. Casper tells me people don't have the money lying around for emergencies. Sometimes the only option, the cheaper option, is to let the taxpayer take care of it. We'll be right back with major breaking news.
Live from downtown Detroit, it's the No Bullshit News Hour with my main man, Charlie LeDuff. Karen Dumas.
No bullshit!
Let's just breaking news. No more bullshit. No more bullshit.
I'm Grace Karros, and I'm third generation of American Coney Island. People say Detroit's a comeback city. I say, where you been? We've been here for over 100 years. My family's been here on the same corner, serving our famous proprietary American Coney Island hot dog. So like always, we're keeping things fresh, updated, and new. We'd love to have you come downtown and visit us, but if you can't, you can always go to AmericanConeyIsland.com, order a Coney kit, get it delivered fresh right to your door.
Well, you know, when it rains, the power goes out. And when the power goes out, the internet goes out. When the internet goes out, I call my friend Matt and Bernie at XG Service Group. Look at Bernie here on his hands and knees, giving it everything he's got. Look at that man crack. So busy, he forgot to wear a belt. There's Matt right there getting the board together. That's 734-245-4100 if you need Matt and Bernie to come take care of your voice over internet, your security cameras, off-campus access control, Wi-Fi, and cameras for homes and business. They'll design it for you. You got restaurants, they do drive-through systems, railroad cameras for public safety, total wireless camera systems for your home and business. Yeah, that's right. Call XG Services at 734-245-4100. ADR Consultants, experienced overseeing more than $250 million in public and construction projects since the turn of the century. They're competent. If you want to reduce your costs and increase your bottom line, you want to cut the red tape, you're going to need somebody that knows how to navigate it. That would be ADR Consultants in procurement and government compliance and information technology. ADR, smart, get the job done right, on time, on budget. 248-318-9424. Call Barry Ellentuck for a free consultation. All right, we got breaking news. It's our favorite Attorney General. No, this is fucked up. Play that again. This is war. Hit me again. Okay, listen up, Michigan. Listen up, Flint. Listen up, the world who used to care about Flint. I have the proof, the documentation. I've been trying to get it for 4 years. Attorney General Dana Nessel is officially, with proof, covering up Rick Snyder, former Michigan Governor Rick Snyder, the Republican, his role in the mass water poisoning of Flint. Not only Rick Snyder, but everybody involved in that massive racketeering case. I have it right here. I've been asking for 4 years now for all correspondence, documents, memos, briefing notes, emails authored by Flint Special Prosecutor Todd Flood under Bill Schuette, the predecessor of Dana Nessel, and Chief Investigator Andy Arena, the former head of the FBI in Detroit, from 2018 to 19, before they got fired. They prepared. They got thrown out on their ass because Nessel said they were incompetent, and they prepared these briefing documents. Finally got it right here. The Office of the Special Counsel briefing paper on where they're at with Flint. Okay? So, I'm just going to start it this way. First of all, where's Snyder's name? See that? Black as coal.
Oh my God.
Look at that. It's a Jasper Johns painting. It's all redacted. Watch this one.
Every single part of it.
Next page. All redacted. Next page. All redacted. Next page. Half redacted. And this was the schematic. Back here. Who had yet to be charged, who they were following, what they were following them for, and what they planned to charge. All black. Wow. I know for a fact, I'm very close to this, I know a lot of the players involved. I conducted half the investigation. I know that underneath this black is Rick Snyder. I know many other names, but that's the boss man. And she's hiding it. You have no right to hide it. I'll tell you what. Like, first of all, these are the investigative subpoenas. Who did you subpoena? Who did you talk to? All dark. The case is over.
Them.
Right? Nessel officially said it's over. The Supreme Court tell her to take a fly and fuck your garbage, and you blew they had a whole case. Now, not stupid. Here's the law in Michigan. Search warrants and affidavits, these subpoenas, are to be released in 56 days after the warrant is issued. To get an extension from the court, the government, Nessel, must show that to continue suppressing them is necessary to protect an ongoing investigation.
But that was canceled.
There ain't one.
Yeah, so what was
So what are you hiding?
That's a good question.
Either she's hiding for Snyder, she's hiding for the money, the rackets all behind this thing, or she's hiding her own incompetence. Because remember, she sold us a bag of shit. She said, here, I'm gonna tell you what she said here. She told us the Michigan Public Radio, who doesn't really give a fuck to follow up on nursing homes or Flint or anything else. She told them, in 2019, quite candidly, after 3 years of Shooty's people investigating, for all the talk that I heard on your program, where they talk about fraud being perpetuated specifically in reference to the new water system, I didn't see any charges at all that had been filed in regard to that. No, madam. But the list of search warrants
Yeah. That's not redacted. There's
that
some
you
on there.
didn't give me,
Yeah.
or the investigator's notes that I'm entitled to, and we're going to get them, says right here, the change order logs. A change order is when you go into a contract with the government. If there's unforeseen overruns, you go to the government and they pay you the extra.
Okay.
Okay?
Yep. Got it.
There were what'd they call these charges? Basically, Flint was broke, $13 million in the hole. They weren't allowed to borrow money. So how did you come up with $100 million for a water treatment plant?
That's a good question.
So they said there was an environmental emergency. The emergency was the sludge lagoon at the old water treatment plant needed to be cleaned out. It wasn't filled with sludge. They hadn't used that thing since 1960. It was filled with some couches, an old refrigerator, and some dumped tires. They never cleaned that shit out. Somehow that cost $100 million. They moved it in order to do this. It's called false pretenses. That's a financial charge. In this, they were hit, the emergency managers, they were hit with false pretenses. Those disappeared. The former head of the FBI was looking into the racketeering. He also created one of these documents. They won't give that one to me, saying it's privileged.
How so?
I don't know. It's not privileged. Here's the law. Here's the law in the Freedom of Information Act. Get with it. Get it, Dana. Let's get somebody to write this down. Because this is what my lawsuit's going to look like. I'll see you in court next Tuesday. Here it is. A public body, you, may or may not exempt disclosure of a public record under the following. That means you have a choice. And these are the reasons you can use not to disclose it. Here's what you can do.
Got to fit one of these, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
It would interfere with law enforcement proceedings.
Nope.
No, that's not it.
Is there any law enforcement proceedings?
It's
Or
done.
Did she shit can it?
Stopped them, yeah.
Okay, she shit canned it, so that doesn't apply too. It would deprive a person of the right to a fair trial.
There was no trial.
There's no trial.
There were no
They ain't gonna mean the
charges.
Supreme Court told you to go fuck yourself. There's no fucking trial. Okay? It would constitute an unwarranted invasion of personal privacy.
It's all public.
Nothing personal here, exactly.
That's your governor in his official capacity. This is the bond attorney in his lawyerly capacity. These are the
Emergency
municipal.
managers.
These are the corporations, the contractors. This isn't about your bedroom practices. So there's no reason there. And by the way, you can redact that if there's, go ahead, I don't want to know that anyway. Or it would disclose the identity of a confidential source. It's very public what happened.
Yeah. Doesn't fit any of those.
Am I nuts? Remember?
No.
She gets elected and says they're incompetent. And I got to fire them?
But see, that's worthy of conversation, Charlie, because you got to look at who was on the team, both those named and those unnamed. This was a team of highly qualified, competent, and committed people. Their work was professional, uncompromised, and deserved more than what she gave
How
it.
do you know? Are you familiar with some people working on this case?
Actually, I am.
Oh, look at that. Karen Dumas.
Actually, I am. And they were very taken aback, disappointed, felt disrespected and disregarded based on what she did.
Let's run down Karen Dumas's qualifications here, who was kind of the de facto day-to-day mayor of Detroit at the time all of this was going down. You know what I mean? We're bankruptcy. Is Flint going to get out of the Detroit water system? Why do you need to do that? They're claiming they will save money in 50 fucking years. Water will be cheaper for our grandkids, as if any politician. So you know the players. I know the players.
Yeah.
I know whose name's underneath the black.
And those, yeah, I mean, well, you do know that too, but the people that worked on that are not entry-level people. They're not people, they weren't doing on-the-job training.
Well, according to Nessel, interesting, Karen, she said to Michigan Public Radio, I wish you'd follow up. See you at the cocktail party, I guess. Quote, Nessel, and I thought that in order to make certain that these cases were properly investigated, properly charged, and properly prosecuted, I needed to have career prosecutors who were dedicated civil servants and who were working on behalf of the people of Michigan.
And this team was not?
And nobody did a day in jail here? Okay, so this team. Here's another thing
Doesn't
I didn't...
that just translate to my people? I just want my people.
cronies.
Yeah.
Nobody ever worked a racketeering case a financial case in their life. And you're telling Annie Arena to go get stuffed? You're unprofessional? Here's what I also know. It's redacted. I don't know why it's redacted, but there's a header on it. Here it is. The Office of the Special Counsel, Bill Schuette's Attorney General office, has a confidentiality agreement and joint prosecution agreement with the United States Attorney's Office of the Eastern District of Michigan. The DOJ, the FBI, the State Attorney General were all working on it. And you threw it away.
Does that sound
feds?
incompetent? Does that sound incompetent
The
to
feds,
you?
No, not
you know,
one bit.
You know the ones that put half of Ficano's people in prison, put Kwame Kilpatrick in prison? Those guys?
Yeah, I don't think so.
Oh, come on.
Which that goes back to your question. It sounds to me like she's covering up incompetence more than anything.
I know
would
you
have
want
to
an
be.
answer.
A little bit of all three, but mainly her own incompetence.
You want an answer. I don't have the answer for you. All I know is like, where's the financial document?
Yeah.
Where's the rest of this? It's Jasper John's bullshit.
It's a lot of ink. A lot
Okay.
of black ink.
This is so fucked up. Okay, remember, and this is for my friends in the local media, the ones, who know Nessel and drink wine with her, and they know a little bit more than I do, although nobody did anything on this. It's one of the reasons I left Fox, too. I got so pissed off at how they ignored a city then of 100,000 people, now 80,000 people. You see the financial collapse this brought, right? But we're all still paying for that bond.
That's true.
Nobody went to jail. We're paying Wall Street. All right. Nessel said, well, they were so incompetent that we found cell phones in a box in the basement, right?
Yeah, I
and they're not even going after Snyder. Do you remember that?
I do remember that, yeah. It was a big deal.
Yeah, it was
So she
huge.
said,
And
yeah.
like, I'm being chastised. Oh, wait, who's it?
Uh-oh.
Oh, stop it, Mr. Positive. Stop it.
He wants to be
Okay,
on
look.
the
I don't know how you
I'm
find
being
much
very positive,
positivity
Mr.
in
Positive.
this, yeah.
I need some up. Maybe I'm. Nah. Okay, let me pick it up.
Oh, no.
Yeah, Mr. Positive, what's going on?
Hey, just wanted to say, hope all is well, and thank you for being you real quick. Jim Johnson's last week, tomorrow, it was his last day tomorrow. He's been in radio for 54 years, JJ, in the morning crew. And I was on yesterday, and Art Volo and a couple other people heard it, and they go, Jim Johnson goes, hey, Mr. Positive, congratulations on going national. So all of a sudden, he private messages me, and he tells me what he's heard me on in the private national. And it's because of you, and I just want to thank you, whether you accept it or not. It's because of my interaction with you, with Chris Cuomo, with White Boy Rick Wershey, inviting me in the table, being on your podcast.
My life.
And I just wanted to say thank you.
That's very nice.
I'm going through a lot of trials and tribulations right now.
Oh.
I love you to death, and it made my day when he said it.
I-
I started crying in the air yesterday.
I would ask you what's going on, but I'm not gonna. It's very positive and uplifting. I'll call you later. We have Dana Nessel, proof that she's covering up Rick Snyder's role in the Flint water poisoning.
Oh, my God.
That's
Okay.
right. Talk to you later.
Make it national.
Love you. Bye.
Oh, he said he loves you,
Mr.
Charlie.
Positive.
Very positive guy.
I get that day and night.
But that's good, though, Charlie.
I know, but then, I mean,
I-
if I wasn't doing his show,
I know.
I'd have to ask what's wrong.
I know.
I'd be, hold on, let me go get another beer.
Yeah, the level of your concern is so obvious. No, but you do care, Charlie.
care.
And you do get that's why he has your number.
Now, yeah, well, that's right. Now, let me get back to this. Remember when she said she found the phones?
I do remember
And all
that.
of her wine buddies are like, well, they were so incompetent. The FBI, the Department of Justice, the former head of the FBI, Bill Schuette's office, Todd Flood, Eddie Reed, they're so incompetent they found phones. The phones were wiped. There's nothing on the phones. But here's what's interesting.
So are the
Here's a list of the search warrants. You didn't give me the search warrants. You're going to give me the search warrants. July of 2016, while Snyder was in office, oh my, search warrants were issued to AT&T for Governor Snyder's state phone and Governor Snyder's private phone.
Oh, wow. So she had them all along.
Of course she did.
Yeah.
And again, I'm getting sick of it. I don't care if y'all fucking hate me. I'm going to tell you, you're dopes. We're going to have a whole segment today about how the media are dopes. Economically, they're misleading you, and we'll get to that. This is a fucking outrage.
That's criminal, Charlie. That is criminal.
Why is she covering for him?
It's a good question. It's got to be money involved, relationships, connectivity. There's something there. But
Current
why?
investigation. Why is this blank? I know what
All
you
of it.
did. I know what you did. You have no right to keep this from the public. Do we agree? No names are here. No financial information's here.
Nothing.
You're hiding it. What are you hiding?
And why?
And why? It's over.
Corrupt.
Here's what's that?
Corrupt.
Oh.
Pipes.
There you go. Well, thanks for that, Mark. I don't know. I just think you stink. And you know what? A woman has a right to take a vacation.
Turks and Caicos?
Misogynistic guys, they can't handle it. That a powerful woman needs to take a vacation. No, I encourage her to take a vacation. Madam Nessel should take a permanent fucking vacation. Because you're just bad at what you do. You know who else is bad? Rick fucking Snyder. We gave him the vacation. You know what's awful? Mike Duggan. Take a vacation. How about that? Y'all just failing us. That's the fucking proof. Now it's on. Wait for the headline come next week. I'm coming. I know what you did to my people. And my friends in Flint. Y'all, you got to believe in it. You got to believe in the project. You got to believe her. Those other guys were clowns. Bullshit. Here it is. Let's see what two credible plus the DOJ plus the FBI we're doing. We know it.
We deserve to know that, Charlie. And if in fact she felt like that information was insufficient or inaccurate, we have a right to know why. If she's the Attorney General, then you would come out and say, hey, this is what they came up with, and this is why this is inadmissible, or why we're not going to use it. You don't redact it and just say, oh, it was bad or it wasn't enough. That's not how this works.
And you know what? It's now factual coming out of our wing of journalism, and it's top notch. We know for a fact that Dana Nessel involves herself in cover-ups. That's a fact, right? Meddling in cases, misleading the public. You do. We know you did that with your pal, the lawyer with the brain damage. Oh, we know that. So, here's the next one.
In the hotel.
Dum, da, dum, dum. Dum, da, dum, dum, dum.
This shouldn't be okay.
Dana.
This isn't okay.
Not with you, it's not. It shouldn't be okay with anybody. It shouldn't be okay with them. It shouldn't be okay with her. It should be not be okay with anybody who is aware of this. It just shouldn't be okay.
It was the biggest story. Like the stories, like
National.
you don't even hear a lot of Gaza now. Mm-hmm. You notice
Yeah,
that?
that's right. You don't.
Like this thing hung around for a month. This was on the cover of everything. You couldn't believe this would happen in America.
That's true. Because remember, Regina Boone had that nice picture that she had taken. It was on the cover of Time. I mean, everybody was into it as long as it benefited them. It stroked the emotion. But, after a while, everybody's delivering water. You've got celebrities showing up and for the photo op.
Politicians.
Exactly. But then what?
I know.
Then what?
I don't know. I've gotten weird. I want some justice. I want the answers.
And you deserve them. And so did the people of Flint.
So, look, again, that other, basically, it was at the 5-yard line. Here's the racket, influence, corrupt organization of this whole thing, right? It started with change orders, campaign funds. Then it turns into bonds. Again, the false pretenses on this sludge pit. Right? J.P. Morgan Chase, who just got drilled for $13 billion fine for the mortgage fraud that they and their subsidiaries perpetrated on places like Detroit. And I keep getting stories about J.P. Morgan and the success story with Detroit. You had to come in here because you were a fraud.
That's true.
And we got nothing. So when Nessel's telling Michigan Public Radio, you're getting called out, I don't think much of it. I roll my eyes. I don't even listen to it. I got my wife's old card now, right? She's got the, what do you call that, Sirius satellite?
Yeah.
Yeah, you bought it and then it's supposed to go away and then nobody re-ups, so they just leave it on. So now I can get like cool music and BBC if I want. I'm not stuck. And,
you have choices.
In this back alley of journalism called fucking Michigan. I got little respect. Here, madam, is what was said at the preliminary exams of the 2 emergency managers who I can now tell you.
Yeah, there were 2.
Underneath the black ink were cooperating till you showed up.
Wow.
Then they stopped cooperating. They were cooperating. I know you blacked it out. They were cooperating until you, as candidate Nessel, having seen not one document, started opening your mouth that you were going to end this. And then they didn't talk. I think you should be brought up on obstruction of justice charges. I really do. I really do. But this is, you can just pull it because I did. You can just pull the transcripts for the prelims. Preliminary exam in Michigan. If you're charged, you get to stand before the judge decides if it moves forward. You get to hear something. That's what Nessel didn't do. And why the Supreme Court told her to get fucked, you violated their constitutional rights. Yeah, okay.
But isn't she an attorney?
She's a slip and fall attorney.
I'm just saying, should you have some knowledge or comprehension of the law?
Here's opening statement. They failed, but for their failure, people wouldn't have died, and that the causation of those deaths was a cause by Legionella. That there was false pretenses because they came up with this construction of an administrative consent order, the swamp. And this administrative consent order was a bogus instrument used ultimately to get funding to join the KWA, this new water department. That both Mr. Early, emergency manager, and Mr. Croft actually participates in putting this instrument together, defrauding the state and the citizens of the city of Flint and our people of the state of Michigan millions and millions of dollars. But you don't have the brains. Sorry, you don't. You're screwed. No one else is going to pick it up. Don't worry. But I'm going to make sure it gets to New York. And we're going to court. Nothing else from justice for Flint. How about that? How about that? And how about a word from our sponsors?
This message of Uplift is brought to you by business and personal wealth advisor Luke Nowacki, who reminds you that what does it profit a man to gain the whole world but never enter the kingdom of God? But while you're waiting, Nowacki wants you to remember that overreaction is not a sound financial strategy. So call Luke Nowacki at 248-663-4748 for sound financial
advice.
Hall Financial is putting more money in your pocket with our exclusive no-fee home loan. That's right, you pay no fees to Hall Financial. So in addition to our nearly 6,000 five-star reviews and our average 9-day turn time from application to close, you now pay no fees to Hall Financial. This is going to save you up to $2,500 in fees that you'd normally pay to the other guys. Start saving now. 866-CALL-HALL or chat with us at callhallfirst.com.
Well, Bidenomics. Let me start this by saying numbers don't lie. Liars lie. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And when I'm looking at, what's her name? Corinne Jean-Pierre. That's the mouthpiece for
She's
Biden.
still there.
I'm like, this is the inner circle? You got to read from a binder?
Yeah, they
Flipping
do.
pages, and then you're up there with like how much an airplane ticket cost?
Talking points, Charlie. Prepared talking points.
Let's remember an inflation. And look, sorry, I went to Michigan, studied economics, finance. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Whatever.
It makes you more credible in my book.
Did you study that at Michigan Public Radio? That's what I want to know. Because it's getting like we're in a death spiral. You know, I don't just come on here. I'm working all week long. I'm talking to, we know economists across the board. We know. Here, let me start out with this. Let me see how I'm gonna do this. Bear with me, people. And you guys tell me if it's too much. I'm gonna round the numbers.
Okay.
For radio purposes. Okay. The gross domestic product of the United States last year was $25.5 trillion. I'm going to say 25 so everybody can follow. It was $25 trillion. That's all economic activity.
Okay.
So far, so good.
Right.
How do you measure 25 trillion? What the government spends, what individuals spend, and what individuals and businesses save or invest.
Okay.
Okay, your extra stuff put in the bank. C, that's the government. I, that's investment. No, C is consumption, us. I is investment. G is government.
Right.
25 trillion. It's actually 25.5 because I know. Okay. This year it's estimated that the GDP will grow. Oh, good. The economy's going to be 26.2 trillion. Okay. We'll call it 26. So it went from 25 to 26. It went up $1 trillion.
All right.
Good. That's
great.
good. That's like 2.5% growth.
It's good.
Okay, not bad. The whole world's in a recession, right? Not bad. But let's go back. Last year, 2022. The government ran a $1 trillion deficit. Spent $5 trillion or $6 trillion, collected $5 trillion. Okay. This year, the government deficit is $2 trillion. 2. That's the highest ever, not in war or during COVID year 1. That's the most ever. For what? Okay, $2 trillion. So that's $1 trillion more we borrowed this year. Take 26, our GDP, subtract that trillion. 25.
Yeah, I can do that math.
Nothing grew. Remember, where it's actually 25.5 and 26.2. The economy actually shrank 1.5%. That's your Bidenomics. Now, you want to hear something really tripped out? We collected $4 trillion in 2023, the government. If we had spent just $4 trillion, right, that'd be a balanced budget. That means the economy would have shrank 5%. 5. Do you want to know how much 5 is?
That's a lot.
How much?
In the height of the Great Recession. Remember when everybody lost their houses and their cars and their
underwater
and their jobs? Remember? The biggest compression, the biggest collapse of GDP was 4.3%. So if we weren't borrowing fake ass money, we would be in a great recession. That's what people are feeling. That's the truth. Now, so far?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Jumping in?
Makes sense. Makes total sense.
I feel like I'm in class.
But all I can think of is how do you get out of it?
Yep.
But you just call it a
That's
spiral.
fucking easy. First of all, we have to know what's going on. Okay. It's now expected, right, that this debt that we keep accumulating, next year we will spend more to pay the interest on the debt than we will pay for military.
Wow.
Holy shit.
That's crazy.
That's fucking
That
a
is.
debt spiral. Now, next one. What is the federal debt. Deficit is a yearly mismatch. A debt is the collected
The accumulation.
accumulation. 33 trillion.
Damn.
Okay? That means we are financing 33 trillion every day. But again, when you borrow, at the end of it, at some point, you got to pay back the principal. It's like the balloon payment on your mortgage or whatever. Okay. So next year, a lot of this debt's coming due. Guess how much?
I'm afraid to ask.
Just next year, we got a refi.
Out of 33. Okay.
$8 trillion.
Oh, boy.
If we
Gotta
only
sell more
keep-
bonds.
if we only keep spending level, we need another 2 trillion just to fund the fucking government. That's 10 trillion.
Oh, my God.
Where are we going to get that?
So we're screwed.
There's more. There's more. 10 trillion. Okay. So we got to go borrow it. We got to go to the market.
Yeah.
Okay. So in this last week, the United States Treasury went to market and go, hey, man, we got IOUs. We're borrowing money. About 150 billion. The reaction was weak. Nobody wants to buy it. Like we almost at the verge where we can't borrow because nobody will lend it.
You're talking about the institutional banks, right? The big
The
boys.
institutional
Yeah.
banks, they're primary. And the secondary are people like you and me and foreign governments. Nobody's coming. So if it's 150 billion, how are you going to get 10 trillion? Here's what you do. Got to raise the interest rate. Right? You got to give me more
make it
interest
up.
because I actually got cash and I can get something better than what you're getting.
Right.
So the government now got to pay more for the debt. The debt that's expiring, we're paying 1% on. What Wall Street now wants is 5%.
But this is endless, Charlie.
It's not endless
Spiral.
because it ends in a collapse.
Okay.
It ends in a collapse.
And then who bails it out?
There's a couple ways to do it. You can default. That's mayhem. Everybody's shit's
Not gonna
worthless.
default. No. We've
You
been
could
through
let
this.
inflation run away.
Yeah.
Just let inflation run away because if I borrowed $1,000 from you last year, a really nice dinner for 2 people, I could get 5 dinners out of that. You could let inflation run away so far that you only get 1 dinner out of that.
Right.
So I took your dollar when it was worth 5 times as much. Now I'm just going to let it inflate away. I'm going to print money. We can print money.
And that's what they do.
And that's what's going on now, and everybody knows it. And they're fucking sitting up there at a lectern telling me, oh, it's working. Hey, the household wealth is up. That's because your house is up.
It's an election year, Charlie. That's what they have to
Exactly.
say.
The house is up because they're not building houses because interest rates are too high.
But people aren't believing that because they're feeling the pinch. So they're hearing it, but they're not buying it.
Well, I'm telling them why. Okay, so in Metro Detroit last year, houses sold on average for $20,000 less this last year. So you think it's appraised at that, but that's not real wealth. That's like the pre-Great Recession. I'm house rich. You're really not.
Yeah, on paper. I mean, it doesn't count until you sell it.
It's an inflated market. Now, which brings me to, we got real problems with all of this. If you look at the regional banks, not JP Morgan, but like Fifth Third, Comerica,
America's in
right?
trouble. Yeah.
They're in trouble. How do you know that?
Because I read.
What's up? What's going on? Can you give me some specificity on that?
No, I'm not that smart.
Okay, well, here's what's going on.
I was just reading a list of regional banks that were in trouble, and they were right at the top.
They own a lot of commercial paper,
Yeah.
commercial real estate, box stores, right? Shopping malls, skyscrapers. So they're worthless, and these notes are coming
Due.
these owners need to refinance, right? The loans come due; they're not done paying, but they can't get a cheap loan now. So,
Because the rates are
so you can walk away, you can default on it. Now the bank owns it. Now the bank, you got your money in it. You want your bank. So let's take a look at Detroit. This is Duggonomics. This is where he's bullshit. So don't come to me with some regional transportation shit. I'm fighting you. I'm for a lot of public stuff. Now's not the time for you scumbags to keep draining our pockets. Now's not the time. He's got that land value tax we've been talking about, right?
Right.
It's bullshit. Didn't get through. I'm glad at least some honest people in Lansing were listening. But Mike Duggan's put out an app. Oh, it's not dead. I've got an app.
Everyone loves an app.
Right. Here's an app. If you're a Detroiter, put your address in there and see how much money you're going to save, even though we haven't actually appraised your house yet. Okay. So put yours in, Karen.
All right.
All right. What's the name of the app? So
I don't know. I went to the City of Detroit website. It's the data strategy and analytics, but I put in the land value tax.
Okay, put a land value tax,
yeah,
Detroit.
tool.
Okay, so you get to put your address in.
I did.
You put your address in?
Yes.
What are you going to save with this new tax next year if they get it, Karen?
0.
What? 0. And
this is their app. I put in it this 0.
And moving forward, when all the laws expire about property tax and all that, like
after without the
will your
NEC,
taxes go down or up?
Allegedly down $858.
No.
But but
I can't believe
this
it.
is no, it's not, because
Okay.
you did the numbers
Yeah.
with the bill without the NEZ and the bill with the NEZ with the land value tax. And actually, what did the number?
You don't. Nobody knows what you're talking about.
Okay.
NEZ.
So it's not.
the current tax structure.
Right.
For you will stay the same.
Right.
And then when the current tax structure expires, they said you'll save $850.
Right.
But it'll actually be $300 less than current.
Exactly.
So your taxes will go up.
Pretty much.
the
But
fuck?
that's also, Charlie, part of it too, is that, and this was, people when they were having these little conversations around town, they couldn't tell you what was going to happen after the first year, and that was something that people had a concern. Exactly.
We just found it.
But exactly, you did, but they won't have that discussion. The other concern is the impact that it'll have on commercial properties. So commercial properties will save money too, but nobody's telling you what they're going to save.
Let's do this then. Let's
Okay.
do this. Let's pick a piece of commercial property, skyscraper guys. Let's see what they're going to save. Put in the alley building. I think that's 500 Woodward.
Okay.
All right. The alley building, 500. It's fucking Dugonomics. Some horseshit.
Hey, I'm surprised the app works though.
It works, but
It's fake.
But it tells you that commercial
It's
properties.
fake. I can tell you anything you want to hear.
Yeah, commercial properties are not. This is only for.
Let me see it. Let me please.
Okay,
What
hold
do you
on.
mean commercial
Hold
properties?
on.
You're on the radio here.
I know,
Okay, so
but I had to go back to the page I'd been shopping, so I had to go back to the right page.
You were shopping?
Grace and I were, yeah. I'm sorry. Don't be mad, Charlie.
That's Karenomics.
Why should you be mad?
You're shopping?
Not during the show. This was before we started.
Well, you said you were on the app.
I was.
Are you misleading people?
No, I'm not. I took a
pretending you're on
I
the
took
app?
I took a screenshot of it. There it is, right there.
Well, here the clear version is this. What does it say?
Okay,
This,
500. Hold on, I'm going to put it
Okay.
in. I'm starting.
All right.
I'm starting fresh. 500 Woodward Avenue. Yeah, keep laughing, Mark. All right.
I love it when tech fails.
are we married yet?
It says you cannot find the address of parcel looking for. Hold on.
It does not do commercial property.
It does not do commercial properties.
It
only,
does not-
It's only for residential.
It says, what does it say? It's only for residential.
Right.
So they won't give us a number
No.
of what the billionaires who keep soaking us for their stuff, what they're getting.
Yep.
It's Dugonomics. It's horse shit.
Yep.
I told you, I've already reported. I know the people. I know the assess. Minimum year one, we're out 40 million. Samantha Wall, the woman that was murdered, and everybody cared for a minute because they thought it might be Hamas and it wasn't. They don't have any arrests. Yeah. She's the 11,000th unsolved murder since 1960. Welcome to Detroit. That's what we get.
Wow. Yep.
Okay, now let's go to Black Friday. Whoa! 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 Record online 9.8 billion. That's a 7.5% increase. It's a record. Says NPR.
Yeah.
I know those guys. They, you know what they studied?
What? Sleep?
The Iliad,
The Iliad.
Homer,
And the Odyssey?
right?
Humanities.
Hey, wait, so did I.
Humanities.
I used to like humanities.
Yeah, it's not bad. You shouldn't have. It's like
I wouldn't
eating
spend my
potato
life
chips.
doing it, but it was.
Exactly.
I liked it. I enjoyed it.
Okay, well, I studied a little bit. So, online sales went up. That's good, because people aren't going to box stores. Those are dying.
Yeah. There aren't any. Yeah.
We did
Okay,
our part.
so online went. Everybody knows online sales went up. Total sales, that would mean you dragging your ass out to the mall and shit, which nobody did. All sales went up 2.5%. Good. It's growing like the economy, except nobody added in inflation,
Oh, boy.
which is 3.7%, which means
Sales were down.
it went down 1.2%. You're starting to see it roll. You're starting to, but nobody will tell you that. And finally, for the Bidenomics, here's what they're doing, and they're lying to you about how they measure inflation. You all know out there, right? They don't put gas in when they measure inflation. What the fuck? They don't put food in.
Right.
Okay, what's the 4 major things a regular American pays for? Probably the highest thing is your rent.
Yep.
They measure that.
Housing. Yeah.
The second one would be
I'd say food.
They don't measure that.
Energy.
Yeah.
Energy, that's up 11%, by the way, but I don't know if that's fuel. It's energy.
Well,
they measure that.
Transportation. So
Your car. They
yeah.
measure that. But the third biggest one is medical. They measure that.
Yep.
But here's what's happening. It's been going, but medical inflation's been about 4% a year. It's set to explode next year.
I believe
1% a month over month.
I believe that.
It's going to double.
It's the biggest shakedown.
So it's in an election year. You know what the pinheads in Washington did? This is true. Google it. They're going to take that number. This, I don't know, what is it going to be? 12? 20? 8.5? I don't know. They're going to take it next year and smooth it. That is, scatter it over 2 years.
Yep.
Right? So if you're paying $6,000 a year right now for your medical and it goes up to $8,000, they're only going to count $1,000 of that $2,000 increase.
Yeah, but who cares? I'm still paying it.
Because they don't want high inflation numbers because, well, you know, why doesn't anybody believe the president? Because we're all really living.
Yeah.
But that's how the public gets misled. I mean, it is. It's the moving, the shifting of numbers. It's the narrative. Yeah, it
They've
is.
never done it before.
But like I said, people feel something different than what's they're being told.
Let me tell you something. Okay, listen. Medicare open enrollment is currently open, but only through December 7th. There are many large call centers and personal agencies primed to rip people off by not looking out for the best interest. People of age will be bombarded with advertisements. Medicare enrollment can be confusing, and there's a ton of misinformation out there. Legacy Partners Insurance is different. They offer one-on-one concierge experience. Most people have 20 or more options and should be working with someone who can pick what's right for them to save some money. You know, to save some money. Be sure you can afford your prescriptions, the doctor you like. You know what I mean? Don't get punked out by illegal calls. Call these guys. I vouch. They come to your house. It doesn't cost you anything. You win, they win. Okay.
Sound like a
The
challenge.
consultation is free. Their assistance with the enrollment is free. Medicare enrollment is just one of your many. Mark needs some new insurance. He's
buy it
calling
myself,
in there. Here's how you get a hold of him. You call 888-970-2940. Legacy Partners Insurance, all right? 888-970-2940. Trust me on this. They save me a lot of money.
And you must know that there's a lot of money and a lot of risk in it because all the commercials, there are all these programs that are talking about it. So it's got to be risky.
And you got to find someone you can trust.
That's what I'm saying. So it must be a lot involved.
Before I get rid of this, the Bidenomics, we're going on Gretchenomics. Did you know that 20% of all Christmas shoppers last year are still paying on the credit card for those gifts? 20% of everybody,
That's
whether
a lot.
you use the credit card or not. Do you know that 50% of people now, not credit cards, just now are doing the get it now, pay for it later plan?
Yeah, it's a big deal. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Holy fucking smokes.
Yeah. Amazon's really pushing that.
Yeah. I don't like
I hit it.
I know. I saw the camera move.
I don't like debt. at all.
Gretchenomics.
Amen,
like it.
Karen. Yeah.
Gretchenomics. Again, folks, and for the public welfare, I am for sharing. I'm for a better life for everybody. I am non-denominational when it comes to politics. I'm trying to dedicate a life.
Nonpartisan.
Yeah, that too. But non-denominational is better.
Okay, it sounded
My
better.
mom wanted me to put in a little, spiritual uplift. Besides Luke Nowacki.
I was going to say, I've heard that before.
We had Dave Bing on when we were back in the lower level over at Drew's.
We had him here too.
Yeah, I know, but it always stuck with me when we were talking with former Mayor Dave Bing, who, was a major
It was his birthday
part
yesterday
supplier.
too. Mm-hmm.
And we were talking about the Stellantis plant on the east side. He goes, those numbers never come.
Right.
He knows that as the mayor. He knows that as a businessman.
Right.
They lied to us. Okay, here's Gretchenomics. The Ford battery plant in Marshall, you know, the one everybody in Marshall is pissed off about?
yeah.
We gave Ford in cash and prizes $1.8 billion last year.
What did we get?
Ford promised $3.5 billion in investment. Now we're going to get $2.2 billion in investment. Because the electric batteries, we all know Ford is backing away, like we told you years ago with Paulie the Power Guy, saying we can't even build the infrastructure. Okay. Now Ford says it can only deliver 2/3 of the promised jobs. Let's see if that even applies. Okay, but does that sound familiar?
Yeah,
It should.
that's the MO.
Because LG Energy Solution is also a battery plant. They were given $200 million in cash and prizes last year. They're in Holland, Michigan. And they promised to create 1,200 jobs.
What did we get?
Now they're cutting 170 jobs.
Oh my God.
Sound familiar?
Yeah.
It should.
Yeah.
Because LG Energy is a subsidiary of LG Chem. And LG Chem got $250 million from the second to last dope. The last dope was Snyder. And the dope before that was Dum Dum Granholm. No, I'm sorry, that's Nessel's. Jenny gave him $250 million and they promised to create 400 green jobs. How long have they been doing this green hustle?
For $250
Long
million?
time.
Just
$250 million for 400 jobs. They created 34 jobs and they never produced a battery. Does this sound familiar?
Yeah.
It should.
It seems like it's trending.
Our Next Energy, a company we can call One.
Oh, cool.
Like $1 billion. Our Next Energy got about $250 million for a battery plant last year in Wayne County. Google it.
Okay.
Whitmer's there smiling and cutting the ribbon. They promised to create 2,000 jobs. They broke ground in Wayne County. But this week they announced that they're laying off 100 people in Michigan. But it's not all sad news. They got their money, and their CEO and his wife contributed the maximum to Whitmer, $15,000 last year.
surprise.
So that's good for somebody. Okay,
Wow.
now we got a climate bill. They signed it. Michigan is now required in 10 years to be all green. My power goes out now, and it's going to be all green.
What does that mean?
That means no nuclear power plant, no coal-fired plant. I don't even know about natural gas.
Yeah, they've been trying to get rid of that too.
Well, they've been really building it. It's clean, but
a
when
lot
it
of it,
leaks, it's like 80 times worse than any carbon, and ours leaks a lot. Look it up. It's very bad infrastructure. So we got to, you know what? Ford bought the bullshit. Gee, I'm like, okay, we're going green. Hey, nobody wants this crap. We're out. Because when you run a company and people in the company are corrupt or you mismanage it, the market takes care of it. It's defunct. It's bankrupt. It's gone.
But
when the government does it, they're the only player in town. They actually make law. So this shit goes on and on and on. Of course, you want green energy? Of course. I crave it. Of course I do.
Yeah.
I bring my own bags at a grocery store. I compost. When I urinate, I don't flush. I used to live out west.
you don't need to know
You know what I'm
that.
saying? Save the water, man. I use both sides of the Charmin.
No, Charlie, stop. That is gross. You use Charmin?
Hell no, the one ply, man. One ply. Like I said, I'm trying to be a better person.
Do you split it in half? And
Oh,
okay, never mind.
And rewash it.
yeah. I did just clean the toilets last night. I'm very proud of that. So we got to do that now, right? But
Yeah.
what's really going to happen is that's not going to work. There's
It's
no
not
way
going to happen. It's just not going to happen.
There's no way to store solar or wind
Need better batteries.
generated energy at that level. Their batteries aren't big enough. They don't exist. Plus, our infrastructure.
That's what I was going to say. We don't have an infrastructure for any of this.
Right.
So
Okay. So what's that
we
going to
just
do? DTE is going to need to borrow money. Okay. Let's go back to the big picture. Do you know how much it's going to cost to borrow money, DTE? Because the federal government, with those treasury bonds, sets the rates. Your borrowing costs, right? Because the government's competing with private industry for our money to loan them. You can't do it. Economically, you can't do that. But what did people like Joe Tate, the
Speaker
of the House, or Gretchen Whitmer, or Dana Nessel, what did they study? What's their expertise? I don't know what Tate does, but I know we got a bunch of fucking lawyers. And that's all we got. Duggan, contract lawyer. We don't have anybody in those numbers. It's going to bust us. But I'll tell you what Whitmer got. DTE's giving her, by my count, a couple $1 million in dark money and in money in the light. Couple mil. Do you guys remember? Here, this is Gretchen Whitmer on a conference call with all the DTE employees and the DTE CEO. Do we have it?
Yep.
Let's play a little. Look how cozy this is.
I'm all in, and we're trying to move as fast as we can, and I know you are as well at DT, and I'm really grateful for the work that everybody's doing. I know it's been tough, but tough times don't last. Tough people do, and you get some of the toughest people in the state there at DTE.
Absolutely, and I think thank you for the words of encouragement. And we won't let you down. We're going to continue to do what we do. And when the going gets tough, the tough get going. And that's what we do here at DTE.
I never eat spinach with a stranger. What kind of shit is that? Okay, that call was after power was out for like 1 million people, most of them, like many of them for a week.
For a week. I was going to say it was for a long time after that. And that was supposed to be her calling them to the carpet.
Right.
Remember, and that didn't sound like calling anybody to anything.
Oh, fucking no, give me
they're friends.
Give me $750 million in dark money, and I'm going to get your legislation through that we all know is not going to work.
Hey, she's not dumb. She knows what she's doing. She wants that money.
I'm telling you, I'm an outdoorsman. I'm from here. I have a beautiful place on the lake. I'll drive a motorcycle. I bicycle. I try to leave my footprint small. Yeah, I do. I want this too. This is economic calamity.
Yeah, but it has to work, Charlie.
It has to come in pieces.
Yeah, but it has to make sense. And at this point, it doesn't make sense.
It doesn't.
So, just saying something doesn't make it doable, and it doesn't make it right.
And if you don't believe me, first of all, I just gave you a bunch of shit that you double-crossed us on, and we talk about on this show. I can't even believe people listen to this show. We talk about land tax, and we have economists on. They're funny.
Yeah, but Charlie, there are people that really want to know what's going on, and those are the people that listen to the show.
All right, here's what's going on. Gretchen Whitmer said auto insurance is going to save us money. The auto reform, remember?
And then
all it did was end up killing our friend Brian, the paraplegic. And lo and behold, Detroit's auto insurance rates went up 30%.
Yep. Sent you a check and turned around and said, psych.
Give it back. It's a lie, and people are dead.
Yep.
This is bullshit. No way. No way. All right. We're running long. Go blue. I think that Stein stealing, that's actually funny. That's funny.
I don't even know what that is.
It's all bullshit.
What signing? What are you talking?
They go like this and put the play in.
Yeah.
Oh, that sign stealing.
Michigan sent guys apparently.
I thought he stole somebody's sign for real.
So they could decipher it.
Yeah.
Fuck it, do it the old way and send the wide receiver in with the signal. Yeah. Whisper to the quarterback's ear, and then he tells the huddle, "I'm getting
use a wristband." Yeah, it's ridiculous.
Kicked Ohio State's ass, and they're going to Iowa. They're going to play Iowa this Saturday.
Iowa?
The Iowa Hawkeyes.
What's in Iowa?
I don't know much about Iowa. I know there's Hawkeyes, and I know there's pig farmers.
And now for something completely different, wrestling an Iowa pig farmer in a motel room.
Go. Got it. Look at that. That's me wrestling a real life pig farmer from Iowa.
Is that Charlie? And why was it happening? That is the funniest. Can I curse? Yeah. That is the funniest shit I've ever seen. What?
He's a nice man. Do you notice?
Oh my God!
That I beat him.
Is that what that was?
I'm from Michigan. Beat the Hawkeyes. Hey, listen, I'm very committed to journalism. So when I go to cover the presidential debates at the Agricultural Summit in Des Moines, Iowa, I'm going to wrestle me a pig farmer.
Why don't you get a pig?
That's the stuff Emmys are made of.
Is it? Oh, my God.
So.
Is that it?
you know, we have a sports department now. You know, Joey Buns
I forgot about that.
is our prognosticator, and he breaks down the tape. And here's Joey explaining his call from last week.
Joey Buns, he's Joey Buns.
Oh my God.
He calls the pass, he calls the run, Joey Buns. Freshly baked just for your wiener or a patty in between or Joey Buns. Joey Buns.
Boo! Boo! Penalty number 12, Joey Buns. Unnecessary expectations. We need to have an intervention, bro.
Yeah, I think we do.
I think you're too close to this thing. We've all been taking your predictions, the Lions predictions.
Uh-huh.
We've lost a couple weeks in a row here now. I'm thinking you're a little too close to this. I think you might be a super fan. I need you to know there's no we in Lions.
Uh-huh. I don't believe that. We, the city of Detroit. Got to back them up. Now, they played bad for the last 4 games. They're lucky that they didn't lose 4 out of the last 4. They're lucky they won 3 out of 4.
You didn't say that last week. It's really what it cost you. How much you lose?
A whole fucking 10. I'm taking Joey Buns predictions. I knew it was a sure thing.
I told you they weren't going to win. They weren't going to go 15-2. They're going to lose a couple more games. Let's just hope they put them behind them now.
We. I know you're not saying we this week.
Yes, we need to put it behind us.
Okay, let's put it behind us. Wolverines looking real good.
Yes, they are.
What's your prognostication there?
They should beat Iowa. But Iowa has a great defense. They don't have much of an offense, but their defense is tough.
Okay, so they get through Iowa. They look good. Like Georgia looks, they don't look dominant. Nobody looks dominant.
Nobody looks dominant in college this year. The top 4 teams, 5 teams are all going to be pretty much even. If it's Alabama, if it's Texas, it doesn't matter. Washington, Michigan, they're all pretty much even.
We, 'cause I'm a letterman from Michigan. We have a shot at this.
Yes, yeah, I do. This is probably our best year to have a shot at it.
Oh, you play for the Wolverines too?
No, just a Wolverine fan. Always have been.
From Walmart?
Huh? No. I've been following them since I was in grade school.
Since before there was Walmart.
Yeah. Came out.
Listen, hey, come here, Red. Red, can you bring me that? Got you a little something for the holiday here, Joe.
Appreciate it.
The fact that you love the town so much that you are the #1 Lions fan. Win or lose, you got the gear. This is from all of us here at American Coney. Please.
I appreciate it.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Lions jersey. You're the man.
That's nice.
You are the man.
The old high school. Here, show the camera.
There you go.
Joey Buns. That's your old high school number, right?
Yeah.
When you took them to the championship.
Almost.
All right,
we won 1 championship. Yeah, we did. We won the Big Ten in '77, but
no, I meant in high school. You didn't.
Yeah.
You didn't. What do you mean, Big Ten? Big Ten. His dad wouldn't let him go to college.
No.
Quickly, Michigan, Iowa.
Oh man, that's a hard prediction.
Quickly.
26-13, Michigan.
26-13, Michigan. And the Lions are playing New Orleans?
New Orleans. That's going to be a tough one, too. New Orleans.
What do you mean New Orleans? New Orleans.
New Orleans. No.
New Orleans.
New Orleans Saints.
No, New Orleans.
New Orleans?
No, New Orleans.
However you want to say it.
Give us a quick prediction. It's in the Bayou.
I hate making predictions like that. Again, I'm going to go 26-17.
You did that last week. He went 26-17 last week, 26-17 this week, and 26 more or less 17 with Iowa, Michigan. Yeah. I'm smelling a pattern. Get your buns out of here, but put your shirt on.
Yeah.
It's got a jersey. It's got a theme song.
Joey Buns. Bonds. He's Joey Bonds. He calls the pass, he calls the run, Joey Bonds.
That'll work.
Oh, dude, you look
Just
smoky.
for your wiener or a patty in between, or Joey Bonds.
Joey, 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 Joey. Bye, Joe. I ain't betting shit.
That was nice, Charlie.
Good old Joe. He's a good man.
That was thoughtful of you.
All right, well, that's the show.
So now what?
Remember what? Save your money.
Mm-hmm.
Diversify. Seriously, give Legacy a call. There's somebody sitting there to be saved. Give Luke Nowacki a call and get a strategy. I mean that. I talk to these people personally. And Mr. Positive, you all should be so lucky that he would call you. I have to call him back now. Make sure everything's okay. See you next Tuesday.
See you next Thursday.
Oh, yeah, Thursday. Sorry.